Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and that's a little bit of a piece of mine called Tacoma. And the guitar I'm playing it on is one of the latest Taylor 50th anniversary special edition guitars. It's an 858e limited edition, and as you can see, it's a large guitar. It's one of Taylor's grand orchestra size 12 strings, and it falls right into the classic 800 series format. It's a very fun guitar to play, really works well for kind of powerful driven fingerstyle 12 string stuff, and I'll show you what it sounds like strummed a little bit later too. So when Taylor first came around in the mid-70s, 12-string guitars were a huge part of the company's success. The guitars were easy to play, much easier than most other 12-string guitars on the market, and that continues to be a fact. And the guitar's balanced sound and just overall vibe just really immediately made people gravitate to them who played 12-string guitars. Neil Young started playing a Taylor 12-string guitar. Of course, Leo Kottke later had a signature model with Taylor and played the guitars for a long time. Chris Proctor really made big inroads in the fingerstyle world using Taylor 12-string guitars. They're wonderful guitars. And this guitar really kind of pays tribute to those early jumbo Taylor 12 strings. In the case of this, of course, it's an 800 series guitar, rosewood back and sides, Indian rosewood back and side, and a Sitka spruce top. Back in the day, you might have thought of this type of thing as a Taylor 855. That would have been their jumbo 12-string guitar. Taylor discontinued their traditional jumbo shape about 10 years ago or so and replaced it with this grand orchestra shape. And I actually demoed a very similar guitar, an 858e, back in 2016. Very similar guitar to this, except of course it had the earlier X bracing rather than the V-class bracing of this guitar. And there are a few detail differences in the appointments and such as well. So very fun to play this guitar now. I'm going to link to the earlier demo I did of the earlier 858 in the text of this. So you can check that out as well. I'm actually playing the same piece on that. So jumbo Taylor 12 strings were a big part of the company's success. They've offered 12 strings in many different body styles. For a while, they're making them in their traditional dreadnought shape as well. Recently, some of the smaller body Taylor 12 strings have gotten a lot of attention, and Andy Powers has sort of redesigned those in a way that's very cool. I've really enjoyed playing some of the even grand concert 12 strings with a short scale. They're super easy to play and just gives very much of a detail-oriented, very balanced and nuanced kind of a tonality. But I think for playing sort of powerful fingerstyle in open tunings, it's hard to beat a big jumbo sound. And this guitar really does deliver a lot of what I used to hear with the Taylor jumbo guitars. And my own 12 string is an older Taylor 355, so that's also the jumbo kind. So I'm very familiar with that tonality, and I've been having a lot of fun playing this guitar with that in mind. So grand orchestra body, large body. It's also quite a deep body, just like the older jumbos would be. So you get a lot of airspace in the body to move around. Right now I'm tuned to basically open G tuning, but with a low C. So overall we have C, G, D, G, B, D. And some people, of course, tune 12 strings down even further, tune the whole thing down and then go to alternate tunings from there. But certainly it's a huge voice that you get with this. So fun to play. I mentioned the guitar has a Sitka spruce top, and as always the case with 800 series guitars, they pretty much get the premium woods that Taylor has available. Beautifully tight-grained top, some nice cross-grain visible in there, especially here behind the bridge. Just really a superb top on this instrument. And Indian rosewood back and sides. And this is kind of the classic Taylor Indian rosewood look that I have always really enjoyed, that I associate with 50th 800 series guitar. Super high quality Indian rosewood. Really, really lovely. One thing that's interesting about this guitar is that even though Taylor 800s in recent years have used flame maple binding, this guitar goes back to the white plastic binding that was part of the 800 series for decades, really, both on the body and the neck. And I think that's a beautiful tribute as part of this 50th anniversary edition to kind of pay tribute to these earlier 800 series guitars. Classic 800 series fingerboard inlay as well, of course gold hardware that's been part of them. So in this case we have a set of the Taylor mini tuners on the large 12-string headstock, and again white binding along the Peghead headstock here. One thing that is different on this guitar from earlier Taylors and even of the earlier 858 that I demoed a few years ago is that it has the new Taylor bridge where each pair of strings share a single bridge pin. So there's only 6 bridge pins, and what Taylor accomplishes with that is that each pair of string has the same exact break angle over the saddle, rather than with a traditional 12-string bridge where the bridge pins are kind of staggered one behind each other, where the octave strings and the main string would typically have a slightly different angle over the bridge. And Taylor feels that you get a little bit more tonal balance and evenness this way. So that is a new design that is also featured on some of the other new 12 strings that Taylor's come out with, and I've demoed a couple of those. So this is something I've seen before. We have the classic Taylor pickguard, multi-ring abalone rosette. So this guitar, to anyone who knows Taylor's, immediately says this is an 800 series guitar, and I really like that classic vibe, and as such it really fits very well into this 50th anniversary limited edition line. There's also a label inside that is a commemorative 50th anniversary label. The neck is, of course, the famous 12-string Taylor neck, and that is a large part of what has made these guitars so popular. The playability is just really superb. It's a 1 7/8 inch nut width, which is what Taylor 12 strings have always been. Very playable, and of course the action is also such that let's just say there are a lot of 6-string guitars that are harder to play than this guitar. So just super easy playability and just a massive sound. And the guitar also includes the ES2 electronics. And when we go out later in this video, I'll show you what that sounds like, plugged into a Fishman amplifier. Okay, so I've retuned the guitar to standard tuning. I promised I would do that. And I'll show you a little bit what it sounds like played with a pick and strum, which is of course the way a lot of people play 12-string guitars. And a large jumbo 12-string like this, of course, has the potential to just, again, put out a lot of power. It's just a lot of fun to play. We definitely have a great balance, even though I have that low E string ringing the whole time. It doesn't overpower anything. It's just got a lovely string to string balance and tonality that works quite well for this type of playing. And of course, if I'm playing single note line, that beautiful doubled sound on the with the octave strings, and again there's enough clarity and note separation to really be able to hear those octave strings ring. Super fun to play, very versatile. It's a large guitar, But I'd say anyone looking for a powerful 12-string guitar that works well for finger picking and open tunings, kind of Leo Kottke style, the way I was playing in the intro to this, as well as for strumming when you want a powerful 12-string guitar that can really get through a mix and be heard with other instruments or accompany your voice. This would be a fantastic guitar to do that. And the fact that it's part of the 50th anniversary limited edition line of Taylor's just makes it extra special. These are limited editions. They're limited to 1,974 guitars per line in the series. So 1974 is when Taylor came around, and that is the number they've put on these limited edition instruments. So very cool guitar. I'll go out and show you what it sounds like plugged into my Fishman amp here, so you can get a chance to hear that too, which of course adds to the versatility and the usability of the guitar if you can use it on stage. And I hope you get to check one of these out at your local Taylor dealer. Just super fun to play. If you are seeing this on YouTube, consider coming over to pegheadnation.com, not just for all of our gear demos, but also for our large variety of instrument lessons, not just for guitar, but also many other stringed and fretted instruments. So we hope to welcome you there. Again, my name is Teja Gerken, and we'll see you very soon. Let's listen to this guitar plugged into our amp.